Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm attorney Fernando López, and today we're talking about one of the most dangerous industries in America, and especially here in Texas, the oil and gas industry. Every day, thousands of hardworking men and women leave their families to work on drilling rigs, refineries, pipelines, offshore platforms, production facilities, and oil fields across Texas and the Gulf of America. These jobs help power our country, but they also come with serious risks. Unfortunately, accidents happen far too often, and when they do, workers and their families are usually left asking the same questions. Who is responsible? Do I have any rights? Can I lose my job if I report my injury? Should I accept what the company offers? Do I need an attorney? These are important questions, and today I want to answer them in a way that's easy to understand. My goal isn't to encourage lawsuits. My goal is to educate you, help you understand your rights, and explain what steps you should consider if you or someone you love has been injured while working in the oil and gas industry. Whether you work on an offshore platform covered by maritime laws or on a drilling site here in Texas, you deserve to understand the protections that may apply to your situation. Oilfield accidents can involve equipment failures, explosions, fires, falling objects, crane accidents, slips and falls, toxic chemical exposure, electrical injuries, transportation accidents, and many other hazards. Offshore workers may also have rights under federal maritime laws, such as the Jones Act or other federal statutes, depending on their job duties and where the accident occurred, while other workers may have different legal remedies depending on the circumstances of their employment. One of the first questions injured oilfield workers search online is, should I report my injury immediately? The answer is yes. Whether your injury seems minor or severe, report it as soon as possible according to your employer's procedures. Many workers hesitate because they're worried about losing overtime, missing work, disappointing their supervisor, or even losing their job. Others believe they'll walk it off and feel better the next day. Unfortunately, that's not always what happens. Back injuries, neck injuries, shoulder tears, knee damage, hearing loss, burns, and head injuries often become worse over time. Some workers continue working through the pain until they can no longer perform their duties. By then, documenting exactly when and how the injury occurred may become much more difficult. Another question I hear frequently is, can I choose my own doctor? The answer depends on the circumstances of your employment, your insurance, and the laws that apply to your case. That's why it's important to understand your options before making decisions that could affect your recovery. Be honest with your healthcare provider, explain exactly how the accident happened, describe every symptom you're experiencing, and follow your treatment plan carefully. Keep copies of every medical record, prescription, work restriction, and bill. Good documentation often becomes one of the strongest tools available if questions arise later. Remember, seeking medical care is about protecting your health first. Your recovery should always be your highest priority. Another topic that concerns many workers is negligence. People often ask, what if the accident wasn't my fault? Or what if faulty equipment caused my injury? Oilfield accidents frequently involve multiple companies working together at the same location. There may be the operator, a drilling contractor, subcontractors, equipment manufacturers, transportation companies, or maintenance providers. Determining responsibility is rarely as simple as pointing to one person or one company. Sometimes an accident occurs because safety procedures weren't followed. Sometimes equipment wasn't properly maintained. Sometimes workers weren't adequately trained, or dangerous conditions were ignored. In offshore environments, weather, vessel operations, and specialized maritime regulations can also become important factors. That's why a thorough investigation is often necessary. Photographs, maintenance records, inspection reports, witness statements, and company safety procedures may all become valuable pieces of information. The sooner these facts are preserved, the better everyone can understand exactly what happened. One of the biggest fears workers have is, if I hire an attorney, will I lose my job? That's a question I hear all the time, and it's understandable. Most people simply want to provide for their families and return to work safely. Speaking with an attorney doesn't automatically mean you're filing a lawsuit or creating conflict with your employer. It means you're asking questions so you can understand your rights and make informed decisions. Another common concern is accepting the first offer that's presented after an accident. Before agreeing to anything that could affect your legal rights, it's wise to fully understand your medical condition and the documents you're being asked to sign. Every situation is different, and obtaining legal advice before making important decisions can help you avoid unintended consequences later. Many people don't realize that some injuries don't become fully apparent until weeks or even months after an accident. A worker may initially believe they only suffered a sore back, only to later discover a herniated disc that requires surgery. Others begin experiencing numbness in their hands, chronic shoulder pain, neurological symptoms, or emotional stress after returning home. These situations are more common than many people realize. That's why it's important to continue monitoring your health and communicate openly with your medical providers if new symptoms develop. Never assume that persistent pain is simply part of the job. Your health deserves attention, and understanding what caused your injury is an important part of protecting your future. Families also have questions after an oil field accident. Spouses often ask, "How are we going to pay our bills? What happens if my husband or wife can't return to work? Who can help us understand this process?" These concerns are completely understandable because a serious workplace injury affects far more than the injured employee. It affects the entire family. During these difficult moments, having experienced legal guidance can provide answers, direction, and peace of mind. Every accident is unique, and every family deserves to understand the options that may be available based on the specific facts of their case. The most important thing is not to face these challenges alone without first understanding your rights. As we conclude today's episode, I want to leave you with one important message. Working in the oil and gas industry is one of the toughest and most demanding professions in America. The men and women who perform these jobs deserve safe working conditions and deserve to understand their rights when an accident occurs. If you or someone you love has been injured while working on an offshore platform, an oil rig, a refinery, a pipeline, or any other oil field operation, don't assume you have to figure everything out by yourself. Ask questions, seek appropriate medical care, preserve as much information as possible, and speak with an experienced attorney before making decisions that could affect your future. At Lopez Law Group, we understand how devastating these accidents can be for workers and their families. Our commitment is to treat every client with honesty, compassion, and respect while helping them understand their legal options every step of the way. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this episode helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video with someone who works in the oil and gas industry, and join us again next week for another conversation designed to help you better understand your rights. Stay safe, take care of one another, and remember, at Lopez Law Group, you're never just another case, you become part of our family.